In about 48 hours, I will be forced to resign. All because I didn't agree to their up rules. So you know what? If I'm not going to be under contract, I'm just going to reveal everything. All the stuff we had to gatekeep for years, I'm exposing it. Number 1, thyme. This stuff is going to help you clear your airways and fight off germs. Number 2, ginger. This stuff has a bunch of antioxidant properties. It's packed with vitamins and minerals. Number 3, elderberry. Elderberry has vitamin C and it's going to be great for your respiratory. Number 4, ginseng. This is a great fighter for your immune system and it's going to help soothe your respiratory. And probably the biggest one, mullein. This is an ancient remedy that's been used for centuries to help people get the gunk and junk out of their lung. All that air pollution we breathe in on a daily basis, all that smoke, for those of you who like to puff, some of y'all probably smacking that geek bar, that Benjamin right now as you're scrolling. Mullein works as an expectorant, which means it's going to help you cough all that junk up. Mullein helps thin that mucus, so it's easier for you to cough it out. It can be a pain to find all these ingredients individually. That's why I drink this detox tea that has all of them. Costs less than a Happy Meal. I've been drinking a glass every single day. Delicious. Not only that, but they just marked the price down for a holiday sale. When I tell y'all these literally feel like a spa treatment for my lungs, we're talking clean, refreshed lungs for less than a Happy Meal. I'm gonna drop the link down below for you guys so you can take advantage of this sale while it's here.
I free myself from addiction, walking around in life playing the victim, passing down disease onto my children, making excuses for low vibrational living. I free myself from the baggage, heavy auras holding down my passion, cause I used to want to fight every battle, filled with rage, ready for action. But nowadays my peace is priceless. Channel my empathy, but I'm staying decisive. Selective on who I'm sharing my light with. My boundaries getting strong as a bison. I no longer define wealth with dollars. The wickedest folks making the biggest deposits. You ask me what it means to be free. Your intuition will want to give you the key.
What are the 3 primary animals that people eat?
Chicken, beef, fish, pork.
Okay. You look at all of those animals. Are any of them carnivores?
No.
None of them eat meat. So if you're eating something that didn't require meat to build its own protein, then why do you need to eat that to create your own protein?
Hey, this man had you thinking.
The strongest animals in the animal kingdom: gorilla, monkeys, rhino, elephant, ox. None of them eat meat. We take one example like the lion and say, okay, we're supposed to eat meat, not understanding that most animals don't actually eat meat. And then when you start to think about even our biology, like you think about how a lion is set up or carnivores are set up, they always have teeth that match to be able to kill meat. Yeah. We don't. They also have a jaw that can only collapse this way. It can't go this way like ours can. Your jaw going side to side is indicative of you being an herbivore. You eat plant. When you look at our digestive system, the digestive system of a lion is about 7 feet long when you lay it out. The digestive system of an herbivore or a plant eater is going to be somewhere between 20 and 35 feet. Guess what? Ours is between 20 and 35 feet. So our biology is set up for plants.
Did you know that April Fool's is actually our real New Year's? In case you're new here, there are actually 13 months in a year, with each month consisting of 28 days. The calendar we use today has, for some reason, been altered to create these uneven months, and has completely thrown us out of rhythm. Before our new calendar, we would follow the 28-day moon cycle. Just think about it. It makes perfect sense. If every month had 28 days, the month would always start on a Monday and end on a Sunday. You can't tell me that doesn't make more sense than it beginning and ending on a random day. Even when we look at the meanings of the names of each month, they tell us how wrong the current calendar is. April 1st or April Fool's is actually symbolic to us, being fooled into thinking that January 1st is really the new year. We are connected to nature in more ways than you can believe, and when we follow nature, it shows us that the real new year is in spring. What's significant about spring? Well, it's when the earth comes alive again. The flowers, the trees, and even the grass begin to blossom and grow back. It's a sign of a reset. So why have we been told otherwise? Well, that's for you to decipher.
When you got the right foods and nutrients in the body, you feel better. So you treat other people better. You don't need as much. When you're deficient of nutrients, you need more stuff. So you're going to be pulling energy from everybody and everything, and sometimes that comes in the form of insulting them or bringing them down so you feel better. But it's all about the food. Them 5 doctors. That's Dr. Sun, Dr. Greens for nutrition, Dr. Sleep, Dr. Exercise, and Dr. Spirit. Wherever, somewhere, go somewhere and be with yourself.
It's been too long and I'm lost without you. What am I gonna do? Said I've been needing you. So needing you. Is your heart still mine? I wanna cry. I miss you. Off to college.
Say that again. The whole history of America is the history of rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. It starts in the colonies of what would become the United States. Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We just killed each other before we figured out there were other people to kill. We just killed each other, right? I mean, that was the history of Europe. The English hated the Irish, right? Northern Italians didn't even think that Southern Italians were Italians. The Germans hated everybody, and everybody hated their ass right back, right? There was no team called white, no race called white, but all of a sudden, in the middle of the 1600s, there was. Why? Why was it suddenly necessary to create this thing called the white race? Well, because rich people can count, that's why. And so rich folks looked around, the ones that owned all the land, you know, in the colonies, the colonial elite looked around and they realized something, that they were heavily outnumbered by African enslaved folks, by European indentured servants, who were just one level above a slave, or other Europeans who weren't technically indentured servants, but they were still peasants, didn't have any money, didn't have any land, and they could do the math. They added a...
Why can't black men express their joy and be happy without people jumping to the assumption that they must be gay? Why can't they be open-minded and open-hearted and choose not to discriminate against a group of people that haven't done anything to them without people assuming that they're gay? I was just watching a video of Aaron Pierre and Calvin Harrison Jr. and they're at the premiere. They were doing a little bit of a shimmy, enjoying themselves because they've just done an amazing film and now they're being interviewed about it. And there are people in the comments like, oh, Zesty, is he gay? I think they're dating. No, that's brotherly love. And if you are uncomfortable with, or it's hard for you to be able to perceive that black men can experience brotherly love in that way, you're not seeing black men. And then I recently saw a rapper who was being interviewed and asked about his LGBTQIA plus fans, and he was saying that he loves them, and everyone was like, I knew it, he's gay. And he didn't say that he was gay, he just said he loved his fans who are gay. But people instantly said the two go together. But if his fans were all Asian, you're not going to say that he's Asian. So how does that make sense? It makes me sad for so many reasons. The first reason is I know so many black men who were once the funniest black boys you would ever meet. They were the life of the party, always dancing, always cracking jokes. And as we grew up, there was this societal pressure for them to lose that part of themselves, which is the core part of their essence, to become these hard, miserable people who don't laugh and joke the same way because it appears to be zesty, who don't express joy the same way because that's not what men do, to not explore certain passions that they have, or cook or do certain things that they do because women are supposed to be the ones to do that. And then they become a shell of themselves, and because they can't be themselves and be received for being themselves, they just become a version of themselves that should never have existed, but that's just the norm. And there are so many black men walking the streets like that today.
So when we say all of ye are Ilahat, all of ye are gods, all of you are Elohim, Elohim, all of you are gods, but all of you are children, Karadu, of the Most High, Eli. Up there, Elion, alien. So if you have the alien, Eliat, Elihat, all right, then you have Elah, who is of that Elion, highest abode, Allah, okay? Then that means that you have Anu, and then you have Anu-Na. The Anu would be the highest abode, sky, and those who are of the highest order beyond that sky, cosmos. Then you have Nuna, or Anuna, saying the children of Anu, meaning they came from the sky. If you the children of somebody, you came from them, right? So if Anu is the sky, then the children of the sky are what? Extraterrestrials. And they become extraterrestrials when you add that ki in there, not kai, it was ki. And you have Anunnaki, children from the sky who came to earth, extraterrestrials. So was that not E.T.? in the movie. He came from the sky to earth. Then he would have been an Anunnaki. Stop making people think that just because you don't know what the hell an Anunnaki is, or Anunnaki are, or Anunnakim, all right, that means that they don't exist, or that means that it's supposed to be just some one story about Sumerians. No, extraterrestrials were recorded in all of history.
So someone said that they found this inside of the United Nations wall, y'all. Now hold up. Now we all need to peep one thing real quick, right? Peep how they got something outside of the ice wall. Do y'all see that, right? And then they have another ice wall that surrounds this ice wall, right? And I know by this time we all seen the old maps, you feel me, that said that there was all these different islands outside of all the different rings and shit. And this is clearly inside of the building, right? Now another thing, peep this. Y'all see this circle around that shit, right? Those are the different phases of the sun and the moon, yo. I'm trying to tell y'all. Now I think, y'all, that the equator is literally like the travel path of the sun type shit. Like, you feel me? Like, think about this, right? In the North Pole, you can basically see the sun 24/7, right? Peep, you can be able to see it go all the way around. Oh my!
Demon is D-mon. Mon is moon, meaning emotion. D means negative. A demon is a negative emotion, which possess your mind, body, and spirit. You have a physical and an astral body. Constant negative thoughts and emotions create astral energy which latch onto your body. These entities are created by your own thought forms. You feed them by giving them mental and emotional energy. Every addiction you have is an astral entity that you have created. The astral plane is the screen you have in your mind that allows you to vision an apple, and you have a whole body there. The more thoughts and emotions that you give to these entities, the stronger impact they have over your physical body. I, Magi Nation, you are a magician bringing thought and emotions into physical reality. You've been doing magic your whole life. Thoughts and emotions are more powerful than you think. They are the commands that bring things into physical reality.
Ain't nothing weird about you, bro. Just because you don't want to put on that ski mask and hop in that car and rap about dumbass shit that's fucking up all your people, that don't make you weird, bro. What's weird is them niggas that's going out there that don't have no reason to do this shit, but they chasing this shit for a bitch. For social notoriety. Just to feel fucking grouped up, to feel good about some shit, bro. All that shit is coward shit. A real man, he walk his own fucking path and he figure out a way because he has to. Not because he like to do that, not because he like to do this, because he has to, bro.
America and Russia don't get along with each other. They've been competing with each other to see which one is the greatest country since the Cold War. That's why America said that they was the first one to go to the moon. All of this bull, blah, blah, blah. Russia don't like that. Why Russia don't like that? Russia is really close to motherfucking Ukraine. They're right next to each other. Like literally, like going from Jersey to New York. That would... I'm just gonna mind my business because sometimes I feel like I have such a big platform that if I don't say the right things, I might get killed. If I don't say the right things, I might get killed.
You think because you prayed a prayer or you came to an altar, you can just say, ask the Lord into your heart and then live any way that you want? No, family, the devil is a liar. He said when you recognize in your life habitual, watch this word, willful practices of sin, the Lord looks at you and said, son, daughter, you better watch. Cut it off. You better stop it. For you're going to end up back in Matthew 7. Lord, they came to me and said, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? And did we not serve on a team? And did we not sing on a platform? Did we not preach sermons? And he's going to say, depart from me, you worker of iniquity. You love sin. I never knew you. You can't stop watching that. You can't stop feeling that.
Soldiers marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. Soldiers marching one by one, the greatest one always gets got by the gun. And they all go marching down in the ground,
the streets,
in the mud,
the system,
in the rain,
the struggle.
Boom, 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 boom.
There's a war going on in my city. And I'm not too sure if anyone else is noticing that there are people being drafted, not knowing that they are fighting on the front lines.
You've been sleeping for too long. But you have not been dreamless.
The sounds of pummeling gunshots have made themselves too much like rain.
I do not know what else would have woken your slumber.
There's a war going on.
Battles on every block, bullets for every baby that'll grow up.
Too black,
too brown,
too gay,
too Muslim, too minority.
Well, the minorities are no longer settling for being called minor.
They know better than to sit and wait for the revolution to be televised. Lady Liberty has never been black.
But even she is starting to notice that you are disappearing. There's a war going on. Then politicians will keep telling us that we've got it all backwards. Well, war turned around spells raw. We've been stripped raw of our humanity.
We did not just come for raw tobacco or cotton, but rice, corn, sugar cane to sweeten their tea.
Remember why they call cotton the fabric of our lives. There's a war going on.
Unspoken battle.
Muslim women with their backs against the wall.
Trying to fight off attacks of questions and accusations. From those who do not understand that these women have nothing to hide. But would rather cloak themselves in dignity than conform to this sexualized society. Nobody ever thinks that maybe 9/11 was an emergency phone call to the nation begging us to wake up, wake up.
Wake up. Wake up and learn to stand together. I've never seen a more disposable human being than a black boy.
When one dies, another one will be back on those same streets the next day.
Dying just to be granted the title of a soldier.
But people know a life is subtraction. They know struggle like communion. When did it become so easy for them to buy out our silence?
There's a war going on in D.C. We even changed the beat of our music so you wouldn't hear the gunshots in our go-go. We chop with choppers on our waist and fuses in our feet. Made revolution and war interchangeable.
Rent welfare and affirmative action as cheap compensation. They claim that such programs are enforcing reverse discrimination. But there be no such thing as reverse discrimination if we were discriminated on in the first place.
There'd be no such thing as war if we weren't born in a country built off of each other's blood.
But we have been stacking bodies and bigotry, trying to reach
the impossible.
I'm sorry. You are a soldier. There's a war going on in my city. There's a war going on in your city. There's a war going on in our cities, and you are fighting every day that you decide to live.
The greatest one always gets got by the gun. And we all go marching down.
The actual reason TikTok is being banned that no one is talking about. Recently, a book on TikTok surfaced called The Forgotten Apothecary. The book contains stolen information from another book called The Bandanius Manuscript, which was a book that contains secret ancient herbal remedies to our everyday problems. The Bandanius Manuscript is currently hidden in the Vatican Library, but The Forgotten Apothecary holds the secrets from the manuscript that big companies do not want us to know about. Before, you could only purchase the book off the dark web. It was recently made available on the TikTok shop, which is the reason TikTok is being banned. I linked it for you below. Get one now before it is too late, and let's all hope TikTok does not get banned.
This is how I knew that we were cooked. Once Trump named Dr. Oz the head of healthcare in the US, exactly 1 month later, Luigi Manglione happened. We're gonna find that we owe this former neurosurgeon an apology because he quit his job to try and warn us about the Medicare system.
If you figure out a way to help patients heal, and that way it doesn't include a pill or a surgery, then the hospital and the doctor are in big trouble. If you figure out a way to help people heal and you can't charge them for it, well, then you've just worked yourself out of a job.
There's an argument to be had that if we get healthier, then doctors don't have a job anymore. I can see it firsthand when I take my mom to the hospital. She's had 2 knee replacement surgeries, and it's a bit predatory what they do. It seems like they intentionally leave out some important information that could definitely make us a lot healthier. This human biologist is under close watch because he tried to warn us about this months ago.
Most people, especially young people, probably don't realize that they're walking around right now at about 55%, maybe 60% of their true state of normal. There is a nutrient, an amino acid, a substrate, a compound, an element missing from their body, and that if they knew what it was, would make the difference between them being an average person and being a superhuman.
What supplement? Can I type? Don't end your sentence there, Gary.
So it's called L-methionine.
I looked up what he was talking about, and it's called L-theanine, and studies are showing that this is the actual building block for serotonin and dopamine in your brain. Those are those feel-good chemicals that get you really motivated and into the zone. Probably heard of something called flow state. Well, that's what these do. Even random podcasters like Joe Rogan have known about this for years, but he's just now exposing this.
We always keep NeuroGum in the studio. We go through 4 or 5 fucking boxes of that stuff.
NeuroGum really works?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh wow.
It's got theanine in it and caffeine and a couple other things, and what it does is it enhances your memory. It enhances your brain's ability to form sentences. And we did 2 double-blind placebo-controlled studies at the Boston Center for Memory, and it showed increase in alpha flow state, it showed increase in verbal memory, increase in, I think it was a reaction time, but it does something.
He was talking about this stuff called NeuroGum, and when you chew it, fucking be ready, because when you start chewing it for like 3 to 5 minutes, it's just like this movie Limitless. Let me be the first to warn you, because when you start chewing this, it's almost like you get that really zoned in tunnel vision feeling, but you can focus on day-to-day tasks way easier. But the only red flag about this is that since Joe Rogan started talking about this stuff has been flying off the shelves. So every time these things get in a restock, they always sell out. So if you see the orange card around here somewhere, you need to act fast, because this stuff is not gonna last. If you're somebody who's got scatterbrain, or you can't really focus on a task like I can't, then you need to try this for yourself. Grab it while it's still available, because you'd be a fool to pass this deal up.
The first sin ever committed was not in the Garden of Eden. The first sin ever committed happened in heaven. God created all these angelic beings, and among those angelic beings, he created 3 archangels. Michael, who's responsible for warfare. Gabriel, who's responsible for delivering messages. Lucifer, who was responsible for worship. Some way, somehow, he got a glimpse of his beauty, and then the first sin entered into the heart of a being, pride. And he goes on whispering in the ears of all these angels that he's going to be better than God. And then the second sin is born in his heart, rebellion. And the scripture teaches us he rebelled against God, and there was war in heaven. Satan ain't stronger than God. The scripture says because of that, watch, Satan was cast out of heaven. It's when Jesus said, I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning down to the earth. He took 1/3 of all of the angels with him who he had got in their ear. These angels that he corrupted, that was thrown out of heaven, are the demons that roam the earth today.
Yo, I knew this Diddy situation was just a distraction from something bigger. They are trying to erase her from existence because of what she just exposed on live TV. Please watch this clip before it gets deleted.
And so the ingredients in there, 4 flavor gummies, the products, they have many health benefits, they taste amazing, and they also contain no artificial sweetness or flavors, and they're all gluten-free and vegan. Do you have a personal favorite? Ooh, I do. Ashwa is my favorite. It's like, the goal is Ashwa gummies. They're made with ashwagandha. They help me relax, restore, unwind, get a better sleep so I can be my best. They do a little something else, but we're going to talk about it.
She is talking about ashwagandha. If you've never heard of it before, it's an herb that has very strong properties. I did some more research, and you're not going to believe what I found.
Ashwagandha has been known to significantly lower cortisol, which is very cool.
In that clip, Dr. Berg says that ashwagandha could potentially help lower your cortisol levels. If you don't already know, cortisol is your body's stress hormone. And if you have high levels, these are all of the things that you're probably experiencing. Having trouble falling asleep at night, and even when you fall asleep, you can't stay asleep. You might be getting headaches throughout the day and struggling to remember things. Getting stiffness, back, neck, and joint pain. And worst of all, you're putting on a lot down here and right around here. But before you even think about trying ashwagandha, please be warned that the only ashwagandha that you should be taking is ashwagandha KSM 66, because studies show it's the most potent and most effective form of ashwagandha. These are the ashwagandha gummies that she was talking about right here. This is the #1 ashwagandha brand called Goli. They have the KSM 66, and the best part is they literally taste like candy. Now, if you check Bezos' site for these, you're going to see that they have over 40,000 5-star reviews and have changed so many people's lives, which is why they are constantly sold out. I even went to my local CVS to see if they had these in stock, and they marked the price up to 20 $25 a bottle because they are selling out so fast. But right now you can get 3 of these bottles right here, a 3-month supply for only $30 on the TikTok shop. That is the price of 1 bottle and some change. This is also perfect because results always vary person to person, and 3 months is a hell of a good time to see if these are gonna work for you. I personally started seeing results by the 2nd week, sleeping better, I have more energy. My kid comes home and throws a tantrum and I'm just like, no reaction, nothing. I'm even stocking up myself just in case they run out on here as well. I've left the link for y'all right down here below. Not go and try clicking other links. I'm telling you, there are scams out there. This is the real Goldie. This is the real ashwagandha KSM 66. So if you see that little orange card right there, that means that they are still in stock. Grab them before.
Your tongue is actually a wand. Every word you speak casts a spell on your reality. Your tongue holds the power to create and to destroy. Just like a wand, it channels your energy into the world. Speak with intention, because what you say shapes your destiny. Speak blessings and watch your life be filled with magic. The power of manifestation begins with the spells you cast every day. Remember, your tongue is actually a wand. Use it wisely.
What's this bracelet? I always watch you very closely because I know everything has a meaning.
This is $4,000 worth of magnetism on my arm.
Okay.
This is,
why are you wearing $4,000 worth of magnets?
Not $4,000, 4,000 Gauss.
Oh, okay.
The magnets they're magnetizing my blood as it flows underneath my veins.
Okay.
That will boost and I also take monatomic gold. That will boost my blood energy, not pressure, to a point where bacteria and all can't very successfully live in it. This also helps my brain to function on the different octaves. I can go into different states because you're getting more magnetism than most people do. Magnetism works with the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus. It works with the planetary field. The electricity short circuits you, and when you get this alternating current, you can't think straight. It begins to slow down your body's ability to function and your brain's ability to concentrate, especially your psychic power. So in the more magnetism you can get up to a point, it's like a recharge for the spirit, for the psychic self.
And you have that yourself? I mean, is that a product that you have?
Yeah, it's one of the products that we do utilize.
Okay.
And everybody in the center pretty much uses it.
All these things that you find, you find as potentially harmful elements in the environment, then you go search out
solutions.
The solution to it.
There you go.
Okay.
Why know if you're not going to do something about it? So I don't believe in learning and then not trying to make things better for myself. I love me, so that's
Have you ever believed that there was something about which you could do nothing?
No.
No, okay.
It's only because of my ignorance, and I don't like to be ignorant, so I keep searching and praying and asking, and usually I'm guided.
2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. 5 years have gone by and you're still trying to change. But there's a solution to this that you've never thought of. You're dealing with something called analysis paralysis and action contrast. The reason you struggle with analysis paralysis is because knowledge is everywhere, and you're trying to learn it all. And that works right into action contrast, which is doing something that I like to call learning the curriculum before enrollment. And this is the easiest way to understand that. If you were going to be a doctor, would you try to learn the entire curriculum before you enrolled in the school? The answer is obviously not. And this is because someone becomes a doctor by learning with action. That is how the human brain is designed to work. You could watch videos about being a surgeon for the next 60 years, but if you actually go try to perform surgery, you wouldn't know how to do it. But then the question is, why do people do this with their business and their life? It's because you are being constantly programmed to think that you need knowledge before you actually start. The best way to get out of this cycle is to reprogram your subconscious mind. I have other videos on my page that describe how to do.
Nah, for real. Like, why am I sitting here watching Arthur? And y'all know the brain? Y'all know the brain's a black dude, right? And Arthur, tell me, listen to what this man just said. Listen to what this cartoon character just said.
Where's the snow? Christmas is tomorrow and there's still no snow.
Well, you know, Arthur, no one actually knows what day Jesus was born on. The holiday is in December probably because that's when the Romans celebrated the winter solstice. And most likely they adopted that tradition from the Babylonians.
I don't care. I want snow.
Bro, why he just dropped all them gems and Arthur said, I don't care. Like, he's like, Christmas is hella fake. That's not his Jesus' birthday. It was created by the Romans and Babylonian Empire. Arthur said, I don't care. I just want snow. That's what half of y'all sound like, low-key. Y'all be like, I don't care. I want to give my children Christmas. It's like, y'all don't even care if it's just made up. Like, bro, La La Land everywhere. At least Arthur real. I mean, at least the brain real, you know? The characters in the movies always gonna spill a tea. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Tap in, y'all. Tap in. Man, have your kids watch Arthur. You watch Arthur. You might learn something.
I always wonder why when people say, it's in the Bible, read it, it's in the Bible, as if that's like the guidelines for our life, when it was written by a man, it was written by people. And then you say, well, it was inspired by God. The people are telling you that they was inspired by God, and you believe it? Don't tell me read it, it's in the Bible. You read it, it's in your Bible. I don't believe that. It has some really relative points, but don't come telling me like the Bible is the rule book for my life that somebody else wrote. And then it's so fear-based. If you say you don't believe the stuff in the Bible is true that another man wrote, y'all be like, ooh, God gonna get you. A man wrote it. So how come a man can be inspired to write the Bible all those times, but everything that we've been through, no God in the sky came down and helped us? You know why? Because God is really inside of us, and we was looking at the Bible saying that God is outside of us, so we ain't been helping ourselves. That was good. So now that we are awakening and we are realizing that we are God consciousness in human form, and we're starting to make strides and move things and do things because we are realizing our real power, when we've always been looking for the power to be outside of us and waiting on someone to come down and save us, when we came down here to save the whole thing to begin with. We walking around with power and don't even know we have power, because the people that don't want us to know that we have the power say that we don't have the power. The power is out there, and everybody keeps saying, it's in the Bible. Y'all.
I don't have to go to the hood. You know why? Because I don't have beef with the hood, my nigga. I have beef with the colonizers. I don't go to the hood to start beef. It's not because I'm scared. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I don't care about dying, nigga. I'm not scared of dying, nigga. The fuck? I just don't have beef with the hood. I'm not you niggas who have beef with your own people, who shoot your own people, who have ops with your own people. Nah, my ops are the cops, nigga. My ops are the teachers miseducating my fucking babies, nigga. My ops are the doctors that's poisoning our people. My ops is the government. You see what I'm saying? That's my ops, nigga. The fucking KKK niggas. That's my ops. So I don't gotta go to the hood to fucking start beef. I don't got beef with the hood. I got beef with the oppressors. See how that works? My ops are the oppressors, nigga. When I say ops, I have a different definition than you niggas. I don't gotta go to the hood to start fights. I don't. But I'm also not scared to. I'm not scared to die, nigga. I'm gonna die by the words I say. I'm gonna die by my actions, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I could die today and I won't give a fuck, nigga. They could come.
Why y'all think they pay athletes and movie stars much more than they pay plumbers, electricians, welders, truck drivers, even people who work 9 to 5, like work at FedEx and Amazon, in a warehouse, basically? Why y'all think they pay these athletes and movie stars much more than them? Much more than them. They even make more. They even make more than welders, bro. They make more than welders, and welders gotta go in the ocean and weld pipes under the sea. You will never see a welder get $100 million contract. The only reason why they pay actors and movie stars this much money, bro, is because they're a distraction. The elite prioritize the distraction over everything, bro. They prioritize distraction over everything, fool, and that's why they paying these athletes $100 million contracts to run up and down the field in court and catch a ball and shoot a ball. They paying a movie star $100 million, $200, $300 million contracts over 6-7 years just to get in front of a camera like I'm doing and act. When anybody can train a child up from a child all the way up to a grown person to be an actor, anybody can do that, bro. Can't now one of these people go into a warehouse or to a trade and do what we doing, but we can do what they doing easy. All we gotta do is be trained for it. They paying these people all this money to do that.
Like athletes saying they paying you $200 million because you got a gift. That's not a God-given gift. You just can do something better than somebody else. It's not a gift. You can do something better than somebody else, and they made a sport for it. And us carbonated beings is dominating the sport. But that don't mean prioritize that shit over everything. Our own carbonated gods and goddess athletes even prioritize it over everything. We gotta stop this, bro. It's a distraction, bro. They'll throw Sunday football over everything. It can be a whole bum across the world. They're gonna put on Sunday football, put on basketball. We gonna stop thinking about that and then listen to that. I bet you people don't even know it's drones the size of minivans flying over cities and shit. But we ain't gonna know about this because we're watching football, we're watching basketball. It's a distraction. They gotta pay these people that much because they is the distraction.
One thing about straight men, they do not like us gay folks, but they sure love acting like they done start painting their nails. But when we was doing it, it was gay. Now they doing it, it's embracing themselves. But when we did it first, gay. When we had the bags on, gay. But now they can wear the bags. Oh, they cool. It's fashion. When we had the tight jeans, gay. But now they want to wear the tight jeans. I'm just, it's Balenciaga, it's so-and-so, so-and-so. When we had the platform shoes, gay. But now they want, girl, leave me alone. If they want a funny video, they gonna do something gay. If they want to go viral, they gonna do something gay. Now they just gay. They just do everything gay. But they don't like us, child. That's crazy. I said, child.
So Elon Musk's evil scientist-looking mother got on national TV and told working class people who said that they cannot afford to have children that they need to learn how to afford it because she need them to work for her grandkids. Wake up, y'all. Stop being distracted by racism, sexism, misogyny, bigotry, homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, xenophobia. Like, stop being distracted by all of that shit. The real enemy is capitalism. All that matters is if you are rich or if you are poor. And if you are poor, you don't matter. All of those systems were created to promote an illusion to collectives of people so that they believe that they are superior to other people. And while we bicker back and forth, capitalists and wealth hoarders are destroying our world as we know it. And they planning to take us out too. They essentially trying to bring back slavery. They don't care about giving us livable wages so that we can survive. They just want us to work.
It has come to my attention that some people are under the impression that the only thing Black America has contributed to the world is art and music? Well, let's stop that now. Here are a list of scientific and technological innovations created by Black America. It's a long list. Airplane propellant, biscuit cutter, folding chair, coin changer, rotary engine, car coupler, letterboxer, stainless steel pads, torpedo discharger, disposable syringe. Oh, all right. Home security system, keeping you bitches safe. Coin planner, ironing board, sweet sweeper, sweeping you hoes up. Horse bridle, horseshoe, lawnmower. Oh, okay. Typewriter, train alarm, image converter, automatic fishing reel, ice cream, your favorite dessert. Water quality algorithm? Would you even know if your water was clean? Okay. Molding print press, envelope seal, laser fuels, pressure cooker for you pressed assholes. Okay. Window cleaner, pencil sharpener, fire extinguisher. Let them hating hoes burn in hell. The lock. Shoe lasting machine, lubricants, rocket catapult, elevator. And the next time that you need to make it to the 12th floor, take the stairs. Okay, gas mask, traffic signal, hairbrush, super absorbent polymers, which include diapers, pads, surgical sponges, pet litter, gel, ice packs. Oh, okay. Heated furnace. You bitches would quite literally be freezing. The blimp, the folding chair, handstand, fountain pens. Oh, okay. Dustpan. Sweeping you hating hoes up. Insect destroyer, baby buggy, sugar refinement. Okay. Clothes dryer, cell phone, pressing comb, curtain rods, lawn sprinkler, to pair with our lawnmowers. Oh, okay. So, urinalysis machine, right? Urinalysis machine, horse riding sallow, shoe, player piano, arm for the record player, doorstop, doorknob. Quite literally, opening doors for you hoes. Photo print wash, photo embossing machine, postal letterbox, toilet commode, furniture caster, the modern guitar. Thank you, Robert Fleming. Golf tee, motor, thermal hair curlers, lantern, gas burner, kitchen table, which you're not allowed to sit at anymore, bicycle frame, the wrench, the eye protector, the egg beater, the defroster, air conditioning. We should let y'all feel the heat, because I know you're feeling it now. The 2-cycle gas engine, the internal combustion engine, the starter generator, and the refrigerator controls, all created by Frederick M. Jones. Thank you. Clothes dresser, bottle caps, electric cutoff switch, relay instrument, the telephone system. We would not be in communication with you, whores. Granville T. Woods. Thank you. Electromechanical brakes, electro rail system. Also, Granville T. Woods. Roller coaster. Let me not catch you at Six Flags. Auto air brake, helicopter, standing foam, super soaker, blood plasma. Wow. Pacemaker controls. Programmable remote control. Would you even be able to watch your Netflix? The video commander. Multi-stage rocket adapters, potato chips, and GPS. Shout out Gladys West, because she is still alive today, born in 1930 something, and she's 94 years old. So before you open your mouth to say that African Americans have only contributed to music, art, and culture, please think again, baby. So yes, my people have contributed to art, music, fashion, as well as science and technology. And rest assured, we will contribute more. Toodles.
I just got back from Japan. It was my first time in Asia. But as a black man, that shit shook me to my core, dog. So now we gotta do a story time. Top 3 things I noticed in Japan. Number 1, they love black hair. I'm walking down the street in Shibuya. People are breaking their necks like they seen a BBL. But the reality is that they were just staring at me, and some people even came up to me wanting to touch my hair. Number 2, everybody in Japan in their 20s love Playboy Cardi. Every single bar I went to, Japanese dudes and women would come up to me just like this and say they love Playboy Cardi. Is it because I'm a black guy and they're telling me this? I don't know, but I love Japan. But the biggest thing I noticed there, nobody uses deodorant. Every single girl I walked by smelled hella good. Even the guys too. It wasn't like a cologne or perfume. These Japanese people smelled naturally fresh. So when I finally went grocery shopping, there was like no deodorant. It's literally not a thing over there. So I'm sitting in the aisle thinking, how the fuck does everybody smell so fresh over here? Then I look over to my right and see the most beautiful Japanese woman who looks just like Chun-Li from Street Fighter. I walk up to her and say what's up, and remember how I said they love black hair? She started giggling and wanted to touch it. Of course I let her because she's kind of cute, but she ended up telling me they don't use deodorant, they use deodorizing supplements. So she took me over to the aisle where they have these capsules. I ended up putting some of these in my luggage because I thought they were a rare find. Turns out they're available in the US, but nobody knows about them. I do a little bit more research on this while I'm on my flight, and guess what I found out? It's only 3 organic ingredients, mint, parsley, and chlorophyll extract, so there's like no toxic shit in here. I started taking this once a day, and I don't get any morning breath anymore. I could go walk a few miles, my feet do not smell, my armpits never produce any odor, and my downstairs area has never smelled so fresh before. I'm just shocked how Japan is living in the future and nobody back home knows about this. I'm trying to put everybody on, my girlfriend, my mom, my whole family, even you guys. So I ordered like 5 more bottles of these. They cost less than a Chipotle bowl, and I'm gonna link it right down below.
We are not in 2025. Month comes from the word moon, moonth. The moon has a 28-day moon cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. 13 lunar cycles every year, which means our calendar has a missing month, which means we don't know what year we're actually in. This is gonna blow your mind. The sky is a clock. The sun tells the time of the day. The moon tells the day of the month. The stars tell you the month of the year. The sky above our head is intelligent. Everything on earth is matter. Everything above us is spirit. That's why they're floating. They're not rocks you can land on. Gregorian calendar was made for slaves. Calendar comes from calends, the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. So what does all of this actually mean, and why did they do it? They made this fake calendar to cut off our connection with with our celestial intelligence above and keep our mind, body and spirit out of rhythm with these cycles. We must live in harmony with the cycles above us. You can create abundance in your life with using the moon to your advantage. All of my students know this.
Today I'm going to let you know your rights when you're being pulled over by the police and also when the police arrive at your home. However, you know I've got to add a disclaimer to this for us black folk. Nothing makes police more violent, more belligerent than a black person who knows their rights. You can lose your life letting a police officer know what your rights are and following the guidelines of your rights as a citizen. So understand, when you see those videos of white men showing what their rights are when they're pulled over by police and telling police officers what they're not going to do and all of the things, understand that that is not your life. That is not the world you as a black person lives in. The important thing to remember is I want you to know your rights, and I also want you to understand that for the most part, if you want to survive your encounter with police, you're going to have to use those rights after the fact. Your life is on the line during. But after the fact, that's when you can prove how they treated you was unlawful. Make sure you record all your interactions with police. Survive the encounter. Here are your rights when pulled over by police. You have the right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment. You are not required to answer questions beyond providing your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. If asked where you're going or what you're doing, you may choose not to answer. You have a right to decline answering their questions. You have a right to refuse consent to searches. If the police ask to search your vehicle, you have the right to refuse consent. However, the police can search your car without your consent if they have probable cause. You have a right not to be discriminated against. You have a right to be treated fairly, equally, regardless of your race, ethnicity, gender, or other protected characteristics. Racial profiling is illegal. Not that that matters. You are not required to admit guilt at the time of the stop, and you can request a hearing to contest the ticket. You are protected from unreasonable searches and seizures. You have the right to be free from excessive force. Police are prohibited from using excessive force during a stop. If an officer uses unnecessary or disproportionate force, it may be a violation of your constitutional rights. In America, you have the right to record your encounter with police. You have the right to understand why you are being stopped. Officers are required to inform you of the reason for the stop. This is part of your right to be informed on the basis for any police action against you. Be calm, stay alert, record, and survive. When police come to your home in the United States, your rights are protected by the Fourth Amendment, which guards against unreasonable searches and seizures. The specifics of your rights depend on the circumstances of the visit. You have the right to refuse entry without a warrant. Police cannot enter your home without a warrant, and warrants are issued by judges unless there's an emergency situation like a threat to life or the destruction of evidence, or if you give them permission to enter. If they do have a warrant, they can enter your home, but they must show it to you if you ask. You have a right to know the reason for their visit. Make sure you read that warrant. The warrant should specify the places to be searched and the items or people to be seized. The police must use reasonable force when executing a warrant or making an arrest. They cannot engage in excessive force. If the police are at your home to question you, you have the right to remain silent. You are not obligated to answer their questions. In some states, you must provide your name. If you choose to remain silent, you can explicitly say, "I wish to remain silent," or "I do not want to answer your questions." You have the right to challenge an unlawful search or seizure. You have the right to challenge the legality of the police's actions in court. You have a right to be free from illegal arrests. Police cannot arrest you unless they have probable cause. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Whenever you have to deal with police, remember to stay calm, survive, record, And remember that you have the right to remain silent, and you have a right to an attorney. As always, I love you, black man. I love you, black woman. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
All right, white culture real quick. There can't be white culture in this country, period. There's no white culture. And I think that offends white people because we are always talking about black culture and native culture. And then we get mad. We're like, well, we're a culture. No, we're a race. We're a race that took two other cultures, an entire African culture and an entire native culture, and we oppressed one and we tried to eradicate the other. But throughout all of our oppression and our murder and our rape, they never died. Their culture never died. They kept their religious practice. They kept their art, their fashion, their food, their music. No matter what we tried to do to the African culture that we brought here and the native culture that we stole from, they never died. And that drives white people crazy. So now we're desperate to have our own culture because we can't keep stealing from the ones that we've oppressed.
Man made money to convince other men that money made them, and these money made men who said fuck monarchy or any system that takes the people's power, stole free land, stole free man, stole free water, shelter, and sustenance, then said, work for me. So you can make enough money to buy it back, make me money, so you can make enough money to make me more money, and if you're lucky, maybe you'll end up with some financial freedom. They got us believing that substantial freedom, that's just ransom freedom. What y'all don't understand is the ruling class is not a thing of the past, it's an evolved version. And while we bear the burden of being seen as a burden for having the bare minimum, it's white men sitting on trillions and white women raising villains who inherit a world we haven't given them, but we've given them. Validating our oppressors by participating in the same systems they need us to be complicit in existence is expensive. Our lives are the dividends. And I'm just confused as to how you think politicians serve your best interest when they're just trying to pay off their interest. And if money rules the world, do you really think the government has more control than the people that's paying them? Public servants don't serve the public. Y'all serve the republic. Preserve your own positions. Get paid to talk about problems when the people already told you how to solve them, but you think your representatives don't resent your voice when their job is to speak for you? You think voting matters when you got somebody else voting for you. Hillary won the popular vote by 3 million in 2016, and we still got Trump. And the gag is, if we had gotten Hillary, we would have still been fucked. Because if history has taught us anything, it's that centralized systems of governance don't work because they work. And their purpose has always been control, and we let them talk about anarchy like it's about chaos when it's about community, but humans can't govern themselves. So we're governed by ourselves to buy ourselves. And lie to ourselves that this is better when we aren't even happy. Are you even happy? What you looking for, stability? Well, I guess death is pretty stable. And I guess debt is a thing we're able to live with when money is what we live for. Aren't you tired of paying people who will return to the earth for things that belong to the earth? Aren't you tired of accepting decree from people who can control the world but can't control their greed?
They told us that we are never, ever to fly over that hole, and we are never to discuss it again. What is that about? And does that have anything to do with all these other pieces that keep emerging? That there might be something archaeological in Antarctica?
According to ancient astronaut theorists, this was not the first time a massive hole has been spotted in the ice of Antarctica. Famous polar explorer Admiral Richard Byrd allegedly reported seeing a massive entrance to an underground world during his 1947 expedition to the South Pole.
Admiral Byrd made a lot of unusual statements, allegedly talking about a large opening at the South Pole that went deep inside the Earth, ice-free, and was inhabited by various sorts of...
That lady got up on TV, and said out of her mouth, oh, y'all don't need to worry about going to the movies or going out to dinner. All you need to worry about is clocking the fuck in. Like, it's not funny. Like, capitalism slowly killing us is not funny. But it's also crazy how bold are you? How bold can you be? You know what I mean? Like, to tell people, oh, keep having kids so I can exploit your children. So my kids can exploit your kids. You gotta keep having them. And then y'all dumb motherfuckers voted in his friend. It's like, you can't do anything but laugh because reality is so crazy.
Oh my God.
It's kind of a time to not really know what to do, so.
I don't know what happened. At random, too. Why? I don't get it.
I don't have any answer. How old is Brian?
He's 19.
He's 19.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Cooperate. I am going to cooperate.
Okay, so parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Like, for real human head and hands?
Yes.
From?
That fellow who went missing recently.
Which fellow was that?
Warren Brown.
Warren Brown? When did he go missing?
The night of the 27th.
The night of the 27th? Okay, and how did you end up with him?
I murdered him.
With what?
A knife.
Why would you have done that?
I've always wondered what murder felt like.
It's not even possible. Like, how did they know that Mars was the red planet, and why was it a worldwide fact? Saturn had rings.
Yeah.
Based upon what information? Because nobody worldwide is disagreeing. This is that thing that you see that all the Anunnaki guys that look like a wristwatch, and they always have it, and you're always trying to see what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
It is it's a compass. It's a time-keeping compass. And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing. It's given in first person, and that's not possible. The things that are being said are impossible. Enough time has passed, though, that it's not like that. He literally says, hey, there's a spaceship on Earth, and this is where it is. Because everybody in Egypt knew it. None of those people are saying, hey, I came up with this. The more you know how little you...
Even this guy's dad knows something was off with the moon landing.
Bullshit, because everyone's telling you that I was fucking
you already
wrong.
showed me.
Yeah, so fucking explain to me. Here you go. The guy's getting off the rocket ship. Who the fuck is filming him? Who's filming him?
A guy?
How'd the fucking guy
That's a
get
good
up there?
question.
This is the first guy that's supposed to be on the fucking moon. A different rocket ship?
I don't know.
So they sent the rocket shit up there. He got off and he's like, all right, come on up now. I'm ready to fucking film. Are you fucking serious?
Rocket ship.
He's supposed to be the first guy on the moon. It's bullshit. The car. How the fuck did the car fit in that rocket ship? Look, how did that car
Solid
fit in the
questions.
rocket ship?
I don't know.
Okay, right. More bullshit. Then the guy's floating around with a big fucking cord to his stomach, and they're telling you that's his fucking, life support. What's it give? Was it fucking feeding him through the fucking tube like a baby? They're bouncing around like a fucking jerk off. Yeah, watch. Let me show you. There it goes. Bye-bye. You know what? I'm gonna stay behind. You guys go back to Earth. I'll fucking die up here. And how the fuck did he get the film back to Earth? Yeah, look, the fake fucking parachute. Hey, we're home now.
These are good
What happened
questions,
to the
y'all.
guy back on the moon?
Stay
They
weird.
just left him?
She is exactly right, and this guy is going to expose what she's talking about in this next video. So make sure if you live in America and you eat the food here, you pay attention to this next clip.
We're living in a society today, like America's food
bar none, is banned in most other countries. The chicken is banned in other countries because it's cleansed with chloride, which is a carcinogen, okay? The pork is banned in other countries because they feed pigs ractopamine, okay? You can look that up too. There's so much of our food that is banned in other countries. It cannot even be sold in other countries. Cannot be sold in Europe, cannot be sold in China, cannot be sold in Japan. It's banned. So when you start to help people understand, if you eat the typical standard American diet, you're going to be sick. This is why 70% of the population is on a prescription drug.
And I did some more research, and what this guy says puts it all together.
Only way to relieve the brain of that pressure, or whether we talking about hydrostatic pressure or oncotic pressure, is you have to relieve the gut. So you gotta cleanse the gut. You cannot cleanse the brain without cleansing the gut.
Now, he explained how important it is to clean out our gut, and studies show that our brain and gut are very much connected. And that's why if you're eating the typical American diet, all that food is sitting in our gut and turning to toxins that is spreading to the rest of our body. And if you're someone who hasn't cleaned out your gut, you probably feel really tired and groggy throughout the day, no matter how much sleep you got. You're irritable and get mood swings out of nowhere. You get bloated or you get random acne, and worst of all, you're putting a little bit on in this area and in this lower area. What a lot of people do wrong when trying to clean out their gut is taking stuff that puts no nutrients back in your body. So if you're someone who wants to clean out your gut, I would highly recommend soursop and black seed bitters. And this is it right here, and just listen to some of these herbs and roots that are in this stuff. Obviously you have soursop leaves, senna, moringa, black seed, honey, lemon root, cheech, tamarind, goatweed, Irish moss, hibiscus, garlic, cinnamon, and then so many others in the black seed bitters. And not only does this stuff have amazing ingredients in it, but it also has a bunch of other benefits for our body. Now, this stuff is hard to find.
That black folks are twice as likely as white folks to be stopped and searched for drugs, even though white folks are more likely to have drugs on us on the occasions that we're searched. White folks use drugs and sell drugs at the same or higher rate than black folks and Latinos, and yet it is black folks and Latinos who in any given year make up 85 to 90% of the people who get arrested and incarcerated for a drug offense. See, people of color know that. And if we don't understand when black folks rise up and say Black Lives Matter. Well, what do you mean, black? All lives matter. Yes, sweetheart, I know they do. Yes, they do. And that is a totally irrelevant and unnecessary point to make. You see, you don't have to say all lives matter. We take that for granted. What we've never accepted in this country is that black and brown life matter. You have to proclaim that which is ignored, you see? That's why we have Black History Month right now and not White History Month. We don't have to have the White History Month because we got May and June and July and August. And every other month where we learn about white folks, we don't have to call it that. See how slick that is? That's how white supremacy operates. You don't have to call it White History Month. You just call it history, and literature, and theater, and poetry, and art. You don't have to racialize.
This will blow your mind. If Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, then who took the photo from outside? Why have we never returned to the moon, even though we now have technology thousands of times more advanced? If humans evolved from apes, why are apes still apes and haven't evolved as well? Why did 56 countries sign a treaty to do almost nothing in Antarctica? What is it they don't want us to know? Why can't planes fly over Antarctica? How did NASA manage to lose the footage of the moon landing, one of the most important events in human history? How were the pyramids and other massive structures built, perfectly symmetrical and incredibly detailed, when people at that time lived in huts and used the most basic tools? How did they manage it without machines or advanced technology? Why are there ancient Egyptian artworks that look like depictions of spaceships?
This might go down as one of the craziest plot twists that I've ever heard of. He was trying to tell us about them all those years ago, but nobody listened to him. Only up until now.
They don't care about us. If never again in our life, let us be that today. Why do we go to see the doctor to give us the chemical when the Bible says the herbs are for the healing? Why do we go?
Does that not ring a bell? I remember this doctor specifically speaking about a natural herb that they couldn't make this off of before he randomly got shadow banned on his YouTube channel. Just pay attention to it.
We know how powerful bee pollen is. It's filled with multi-minerals, vitamins, carotenoids, bioflavonoids, phytoestrols, amino acids, fatty acids, and more. Bee pollen has anti-inflammatory effects, and scientists have proved that it blocks the activity of chronic inflammation. And remember that bee pollen will help your gut, particularly those skin issues you may be having. Remember, everything starts in the gut, and a healthy gut is a healthy body.
And that is why they refer to it as nature's most powerful superfood because of how nutrient dense bee pollen is. And if you are not already aware, nutrient deficiency affects a whole bunch of Americans because of how overprocessed the foods are. We aren't getting the nutrients that our bodies really need to thrive. Studies have now found may be linked to a whole load of things. If you have trouble sleeping at night, you feel irritated or stressed all the time, you may even feel fatigued and low energy. And the worst of them all is the joint pains and the aches around your body. What if it isn't our jobs that are draining us of our energies, but instead it's just that we lack the minerals that we are supposed to be having? Now, before you run to go and get bee pollen, you need to know this one thing. The only way that you can unlock all the minerals that he was speaking about inside bee pollen is if you get it in a fermented form like bee bread. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of places in the US that actually carry the bee bread because it's extremely difficult to process. Thankfully, I did find one brand in the US. It's from the StampedeNetwork.com and it comes in a pack of 30. They have hundreds of positive reviews and they have finally launched on the TikTok shop to make this more wide stream to you guys. The only thing is, because it's such a small company, they sell out extremely quickly, which is why if you do want to take back control of your health and become your own advocate, I highly recommend clicking the link right there.
I don't think y'all realize how psychological food actually is. You have a choice before you eat the food, and usually 9 times out of 10, you know the bull crap you put in your mouth is bull crap and nutrient deficient as hell anyway. We're enslaved to our senses, we're enslaved to our bellies, our nervous system has become our god, and we're not serving our almighty creator because we are so enslaved to our lower animalistic primal nature. Straight up.
This fight is coming 100% on January the 20th. We will go to the full extent, depending how far this goes. We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State, and over to Wisconsin.
TikTok is about to piss me off because every single time that I try to talk about this one specific topic, they always take my videos down. Mind you, I've been trying to talk about this topic since before the solar eclipse in April. Antarctica has a volcano that spews gold every single day. Mount Erebus is a volcano that they have known about since 1841, and it spews 80 grams of gold every single day. 80 grams of gold is equivalent to $6,000. $6,000 that's falling from the actual sky, that's coming from actual earth. Hello, y'all hoes don't want us to know about this. That's why y'all keep trying to silence me every time I'm talking about it. So just to make sure that this video stays up, this is for TikTok entertainment purposes only. I don't understand why they have such a problem with the public knowing that there's a freaking volcano in Antarctica. In Antarctica, the only place in the world, one of the only places in the world where we can't go. We can't go. They got a treaty. They talking about some, if you come here, you're going to end up leaving like Swiss cheese if you end up leaving at all. I made a video last night summarizing some of the events that have happened in 2024 last night, and I threw this one in there, and TikTok said, no, bitch, they're not going to find out. Before I attract the energies of those people that be like, oh, this not real, debunk, conspiracy theorists. Look it up. Look it up. I've been trying to talk about this for months because back in April, there was literally something going on with the Antarctica Treaty, and the countries that are involved in the treaty were like, hold up. Nanho can tell me what to do with my own shit that's not owned by no bitch. The fuck is y'all talking about? And they started to get a little rocky. Things started to get a little shaky. Then warships ended up in the Red Sea. It was a whole bunch going on. Then you mean to tell me the first time that I tried to talk about it since the summertime? Since the springtime? You took my video down. You took my video down. You took my video down. Y'all hoes always trying to hide something. And it's really interesting when you tie this into the fact that the Anunnaki, they need gold to sustain.
This is definitely the most badass black dude you've never heard of. He's the first black American to win a Nobel Peace Prize in 1950 and the first of African descent. Ebony magazine called him one of the most influential black Americans in the first half of the 20th century. President Kennedy awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1963. He was the first black American elected to the American Philosophical Society in 1950, and they were founded all the way back in 1743. He served as a senior intelligence analyst for the OSS, aka the Office of Strategic Services, which is the precursor to the CIA. He was instrumental in helping First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt create the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1958. He marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the March on Washington, and he marched with him from Selma to Montgomery in 1965. He played a crucial role in the creation, the formation, and the administration of the United Nations. He was the UN's chief negotiator. He negotiated conflicts in Israel, Palestine, Congo, Yemen, Kashmir, and Cyprus. In 1982, the United States Postal Service created a stamp in his honor. He had the oldest federal library in the United States renamed after him in 1997. The man, the myth, the legend, Ralph Johnson Bunch was born August 4th, 1907 in Detroit, Michigan. Click that follow button. Ralph moved to Los Angeles as a teenager where he became valedictorian of his high school. Then he attended UCLA on a full athletic scholarship where he even played on championship basketball teams, and he graduated as UCLA's valedictorian in 1927. He then went on to Harvard University where he got his master's and his PhD, becoming the first black American to earn a doctorate in political science. He was a longtime professor at Howard University, and he helped chair their first ever political science department, which he chaired from 1928 to 1950. I almost forgot, he helped to decolonize countries all over the planet. He was so respected in his lifetime that he was awarded over 30 honorary degrees, and he left this world December 9th, 1971, just 84 days after I was born. Black history is American history, and not just in February.
Nikki, how would you and Mariah do a duet?
Me and Mariah would be like this. What?